Prisoners of Geography, 10 Maps That Tell You Everything You Need to Know About Global Politics by Tim Marshall. Chapter 1, On Water. In the first chapter, Marshall discusses the importance of access to waterways and how this has shaped the histories of different nations. He cites examples such as the United States, which gained significant strategic advantages from its extensive coastline and navigable rivers, and Russia, which has historically struggled to project power beyond its limited number of warm water ports. Marshall also examines the role of mountains and deserts in determining a country's strategic position and the challenges they pose for military and economic development. Chapter 2, On Energy. Here, the author looks at the role of energy resources in global politics. He discusses the ways in which countries with access to large reserves of oil and natural gas have been able to use their energy wealth to shape relations and exert influence on the global stage. He also examines the potential for renewable energy sources such as wind and solar power to disrupt traditional energy hierarchies and reshape global power dynamics in the future. Chapter 3, On Climate. A focused look at climate change and its impact on international relations. Marshall discusses how rising temperatures and sea levels are exacerbating existing conflicts and creating new ones, particularly in areas such as the Arctic and the Middle East. He also looks at the ways in which climate change is affecting global economic and political systems, and the potential for international cooperation on environmental issues to create new opportunities for cooperation and conflict. Chapter 4, On Democracy. The fourth chapter examines the relationship between geography and the spread of democracy. Marshall argues that certain physical features such as mountains, deserts, and rivers have historically made it more difficult for authoritarian regimes to maintain control over their populations, leading to the development of more decentralized and democratic forms of government. He cites examples such as Switzerland, which has a long history of decentralized governance due in part to its mountainous terrain, and the Arab Spring revolutions, which came from the spread of communication technologies that allowed people in geographically isolated areas to connect with each other in coordinate protests. Chapter 5, On Cities. In this chapter, Marshall discusses the role of urbanization in global politics. He looks at ways in which cities have served as centers of economies, culture, and power throughout history, and how the rapid urbanization of developing countries is affecting global relations. He also looks at the challenges and opportunities that come with rapid urbanization, such as the need for infrastructure development and the potential for innovation and social mobility. Chapter 6, On Religion. Discovering the role religion has on international relations, with a particular emphasis on Islam. He discusses ways in which the geography of the Middle East has shaped the spread of Islam, and how religious tensions have played a role in conflicts such as in Israel and Syria. Chapter 7, On Borders. A look at the role of borders and territorial disputes in global politics. He discusses the ways in which borders change and the various factors that have influenced the creation and modification of borders, including colonialism, warfare, and nationalism. He also examines the ways in which territorial disputes have fueled conflicts such as the Korean War and the conflicts in the Balkans. Chapter 8, On Technology. The impact of technology on the globe, including the ways in which communication and transportation technologies have enabled countries to overcome geographic barriers. Marshall discusses the role of the internet and satellite technology in facilitating globalization and the ways in which they have enabled countries to transcend their physical isolation. He also examines the potential for new technologies such as autonomous vehicles and drones to further challenge traditional notions of geography and power. Chapter 9, On Globalization. the importance of globalization in shaping international relations and the ways in which it has both allowed and challenged the ability of states to exert influence. He discusses the ways in which globalization has connected different regions and created opportunities for economic and cultural exchange, but also the ways in which it has disrupted life. Chapter 10, on demographics. The role demographics play in global politics, including the ways in which population growth and aging are affecting economic and political systems. Here he discusses the challenges and opportunities of population growth in developing countries, and the ways in which aging populations in developed countries are affecting their power. Finally, he also looks at the potential for immigration to shape global politics in the future. Thank you.